Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Artificial Fluency. I'm your host, and before we start today's lesson, I want you to try something with me. Right now, think about what you had for breakfast this morning. Go ahead. Think about it for a moment. Now, here's my question. What language did you just think in? If you thought in your native language and then translated it into English, you're experiencing exactly what we're going to solve today. Many English learners get stuck in a translation trap. They think in their own language first, then try to convert everything into English. This creates delays, makes speaking feel heavy and stressful, and actually slows down your progress toward fluency. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to break free from this translation habit and start thinking directly in English. By the end of this lesson, you'll have practical strategies you can use immediately to train your brain to think in English naturally and automatically. So, get comfortable and let's transform the way you process English forever. Teaching note. Translation trap means getting stuck in the habit of always translating between languages. Convert means to change from one form to another. When I say process English, I mean how your brain handles and works with English information. Today's practical lesson is organized into 4 powerful strategies that will revolutionize your English learning. First, we'll understand the problem with mental translation, why translating in your head actually makes English harder, not easier. Second, we'll explore micro moments, tiny opportunities throughout your day to practice thinking in English naturally. Third, we'll learn to create English islands, special times when you use only English in your daily routine. Fourth, we'll master mental pictures and self-talk, advanced techniques that connect English directly to your thoughts and experiences. Each strategy includes simple exercises you can start using today, and by the end, you'll have a complete weekly plan for thinking in English. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us. Let's start by understanding exactly why mental translation is holding you back from English fluency. How translation actually works in your brain. When you translate in your head, here's what happens. You think of a sentence in your native language. Then you try to change it into English. This process uses what psychologists call your brain's slow and careful system. This system stops to check every single word, moves back and forth between languages, and creates extra mental work. It's like taking a long, winding road when there's a direct highway available. Teaching note. Slow and careful system refers to the part of your brain that analyzes and thinks step by step. This is useful for learning, but not for natural communication. A winding road curves and turns a lot, making travel longer than necessary. The real cost of translation. Mental translation creates several serious problems. 1. Slowness and delay. When you translate, you first think in your language, then convert to English. This extra step takes time and makes you pause during conversations. Instead of flowing naturally, Your speech becomes choppy and interrupted. 2. Stress and mental fatigue. Translation makes conversation feel heavy and difficult. Your brain works much harder than necessary, leading to mental exhaustion. This is why many learners feel tired after English conversations. 3. Memory problems. Under the stress of translation, you may forget words you actually know well. The pressure of converting languages can block your memory access. 4. Nervousness and anxiety. The slow translation process makes you feel unprepared and uncertain. You worry about making mistakes because you're always second-guessing your word choices. Teaching note. Mental fatigue means being tired in your mind from thinking too hard. Second-guessing means doubting your first choice and reconsidering it. Choppy and interrupted speech means interrupted and uneven, like waves hitting a boat. Translation problem vocabulary. Slow and careful system. Mental fatigue, tiredness from thinking too hard. Second guessing, doubting your first choice. Choppy and interrupted speech. Memory blocks, temporarily forgetting words you know well. The direct thinking alternative. When you think directly in English, you use your brain's fast and automatic system. This system doesn't stop to check every word or move between languages. It simply speaks. It's quick, natural, and feels light and easy. Think about how you speak in your native language. You don't translate from another language first. Words just flow naturally from your thoughts. This is exactly what we want to achieve with English. Examples of translation versus direct thinking. Translation process. Think, I want to drink water in your language. Convert, I equals I, want equals want, etc. Speak, I want to drink water, with delay and effort. Direct thinking process. Feel thirsty. Speak, I want to drink water. Immediately and naturally. Why translation feels safe but isn't helpful. Many learners rely on translation because it feels safe and controlled. You can check every word and make sure it's correct. But this safety is actually an illusion that prevents real fluency. Translation is like using training wheels on a bicycle forever. Training wheels help you learn balance at first, but eventually they prevent you from riding naturally and confidently. Teaching note. An illusion means something that seems real but isn't actually true. Training wheels are small wheels attached to children's bicycles to help them learn balance. This is a metaphor. Translation is like training wheels for language. The science behind direct thinking. Research in language learning shows that fluent speakers have direct connections between concepts and words in the target language. They don't go through their native language as a middle step. When you think directly in English, you're building these direct neural pathways. Each time you use English without translation, you strengthen these connections and weaken the translation habit. Teaching note. Neural pathways are connections in your brain between different areas. Target language means the language you're learning, English in this case. Middle step means an extra action between the beginning and end. Signs you're stuck in translation mode. You pause frequently while speaking. You feel exhausted after English conversations. You know words but can't access them quickly. You speak word by word instead of in phrases. You feel frustrated because your thoughts are faster than your English. Signs you're developing direct thinking. Words come to you naturally without effort. You can speak in phrases and sentences smoothly. You feel energized rather than drained by English use. You make mistakes but keep speaking naturally. Your English feels like your native language. Teaching note. Stuck in translation mode means trapped in the habit of always translating. Access words quickly means being able to remember and use words without delay. Drained means very tired, the opposite of energized. Key learning points for translation problems. Mental fatigue means tiredness from thinking too hard. Second guessing means doubting your first choice. Neural pathways are brain connections between different areas. Target language means the language you're learning. Direct thinking uses your brain's fast and automatic system. Now, let's learn the first practical strategy, using micro moments to train your brain to think in English naturally throughout your day. What are micro moments? Micro moments are very small times when you use English, sometimes only 3 seconds or just one sentence. These tiny practice opportunities happen dozens of times every day, but most people don't recognize them. The beauty of micro moments is that they're effortless and natural. You don't need to set aside special study time or find conversation partners. You just use moments that already exist in your daily routine. Teaching note. Micro means very small. Effortless means requiring no special effort or work. Set aside means to reserve or save time specifically for something. The magic of small, frequent practice. Research in learning shows something very important. Practicing many small times is stronger than practicing one long time. Short, frequent practice is better for your brain than long, rare practice. This happens because frequent repetition builds stronger neural connections. When you practice a little bit every day, your brain treats English as important and creates permanent pathways. Teaching note. Frequent repetition means doing something many times regularly. Permanent pathways are lasting connections in your brain that don't disappear easily. Daily action micro moments. The easiest way to start is by narrating your daily actions in English. As you do normal activities, quietly describe what you're doing. Morning routine. I am opening the fridge. I am pouring coffee. I am brushing my teeth. I am getting dressed. Throughout the day. I am walking to the bus. I'm checking my phone. I'm washing my hands. I'm turning on the computer. Evening activities. I am cooking dinner. I am watching TV. I am taking a shower. I am going to bed. Teaching note. Narrating means describing or telling what's happening. You can do this silently in your mind or whisper quietly. The key is connecting your actions directly to English words. Micro moment vocabulary. Narrating daily actions. Effortless and natural practice. Frequent repetition builds connections. Permanent neural pathways. Quietly describe what you're doing. Feeling and observation micromoments. Beyond actions, you can also practice with feelings and observations. Physical sensations. I am hungry. I am tired. I am cold. My back hurts. I feel comfortable. Environmental observations. It's sunny today. The room is quiet. Traffic is heavy. The coffee smells good. This music is relaxing. Emotional states. I am excited about the weekend. I feel stressed about work. I am happy to be home. I am curious about that book. Teaching note. Environmental observations means noticing things around you in your environment. Emotional states are your feelings and moods. Making micromoments automatic. The goal is to make English thinking so automatic that you don't have to remember to do it. Here's how to build this habit. Week 1. Choose one daily activity, like making coffee, and always describe it in English. Week 2. Add a second activity, like walking somewhere. Week 3. Include feelings and observations. Week 4. Practice with multiple activities throughout the day. Starting your micro-moment practice. Choose trigger activities. Pick regular activities that happen every day. Opening doors, washing hands, looking at your phone, eating meals, climbing stairs. Connect English to the action. Every time you do the activity, say the English phrase. Door opens, I am opening the door. Hands washed, I am washing my hands. Phone checked, I am checking my phone. Teaching note. Trigger activities are regular actions that remind you to practice English. They trigger or start your English thinking automatically. Advanced micro-moment techniques. Once basic narration feels natural, you can expand your practice. Add details. Instead of I am walking, say I am walking quickly to catch the bus. Instead of I am eating, say I am eating delicious pasta for lunch. Include future plans. After I finish this coffee, I will check my email. When I get home, I will call my friend. Express preferences. I prefer tea to coffee in the afternoon. I like walking in the park when it's sunny. The compound effect of micromoments. Individual micromoments seem tiny and insignificant, but they compound over time. If you use 20 micromoments per day, that's 140 per week, 560 per month, and over 7,000 per year. Each micromoment strengthens your direct English thinking and weakens your translation habit. The magic is not in one big moment, the magic is in many small, daily moments. Teaching note. Compound over time means small effects add up to create big results. Insignificant means not important, but when many insignificant things happen together, they become very significant. Common micro-moment mistakes. Trying to be perfect. Don't worry about grammar or complex sentences. Simple phrases like, I am walking, are perfect. Making it complicated. Start with basic present continuous tense. I am doing. Don't try to use advanced grammar at first. Giving up too quickly. Micro moments feel small because they are small. Trust the process and stay consistent. Only practicing when you remember. Attach micro moments to regular activities so they become automatic, not dependent on memory. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us. Key learning points for micro moments. Micro moments are very small opportunities to practice English. Frequent repetition builds stronger brain connections than long, rare practice. Narrating means describing what you're doing. Trigger activities are regular actions that remind you to practice. Small, consistent practice creates compound effects over time. For learners not living in English-speaking countries, creating English islands in your day is essential for developing direct thinking skills. What are English islands? English islands are short times when you use only English. These are designated periods, maybe 10, 15, or 20 minutes, when you create a mini English-speaking environment in your daily routine. Think of these as small English countries within your regular day. During island time, you don't translate, you don't use your native language, and you immerse yourself completely in English thinking. Teaching note: designated periods means specific times that you choose and plan for. Immerse yourself means to involve yourself completely, like diving into water and being completely surrounded by it. Why English islands work? English islands work because they train your brain to operate in English mode for extended periods. Instead of constantly switching between languages, you maintain English thinking continuously. This sustained practice builds mental stamina for English and reduces the effort required for direct thinking. It's like physical exercise. The more you practice sustained English thinking, the stronger and easier it becomes. Teaching note: sustained practice means continuous practice without breaks or interruptions. Mental stamina is like physical stamina, but for your mind, the ability to maintain mental effort for longer periods. English island vocabulary. Designated periods. Specific planned times. Immerse yourself completely. Involve yourself totally. Sustained English thinking. Continuous English without interruption. Mental stamina. Ability to maintain mental effort. English mode. Thinking and operating only in English. Types of English islands. Morning English island. Create an English breakfast by describing your morning routine entirely in English. I am making scrambled eggs and toast. The coffee smells wonderful this morning. I need to check my schedule for today. It's a beautiful sunny day outside. Entertainment English island. Listen to English music and sing along. Watch short English videos without subtitles. Read English news articles or blogs. Play English language games or apps. Planning English island. Review your daily schedule in English. Make to-do lists in English. Plan your meals or activities in English. Think through problems or decisions in English. Evening Reflection Island. Summarize your day in English. Express how you feel about what happened. Plan tomorrow's activities. Practice gratitude by listing good things in English. Teaching note: scrambled eggs are eggs mixed and cooked until fluffy. Schedule means your planned activities for the day. Gratitude means feeling thankful and appreciative. Building your island system. Week 1. Start small. Choose one 10-minute English island per day. Pick the same time each day to build the habit. Focus on simple, comfortable activities. Week 2. Expand content. Increase to 15 minutes. Add more variety to your island activities. Include speaking aloud, not just thinking. Week 3. Add more islands. Create a second English island at a different time. Experiment with different types of content. Start combining activities, listening plus speaking. Week 4. Natural integration. English islands should feel natural and enjoyable. Adjust timing and content based on what works best. Begin to crave English time rather than seeing it as work. Advanced English island techniques. Emotion-based islands. Connect English to your emotional experiences. Express frustrations. This traffic is really annoying. Share excitement. I can't wait for the weekend. Describe satisfaction. I'm proud of finishing that project. Process concerns. I'm worried about tomorrow's meeting. Problem-solving islands. Use English for thinking through challenges. Let me think about this step by step. What are my options in this situation? If I do this, then that might happen. I need to consider all the possibilities. Creative islands. Tell yourself stories in English. Describe imaginary scenarios. Plan future trips or activities. Create conversations between imaginary people. Teaching note. Process concerns means to think through worries or problems. Step by step means one stage at a time in order. Scenarios are possible situations or events. Making islands enjoyable. English islands should feel pleasant, not like work. Here's how to keep them engaging. Connect to your interests. If you love cooking, create cooking islands where you describe recipes. If you enjoy music, have singing and music appreciation islands. If you like sports, comment on games or discuss your favorite teams. If you're interested in news, have current events islands. Use all your senses. Listen to English while smelling coffee or tea. Watch English content while eating something delicious. Practice English pronunciation while walking in nature. Combine English reading with comfortable, cozy environments. Vary the activities. Don't do the same thing every day. Rotate between listening-focused islands, speaking-focused islands, reading-focused islands, mixed-skill islands. Track your progress. Keep a simple English island journal. How long was your island today? What activities did you do? How did you feel during and after? What new words or phrases did you encounter? Which islands feel most natural and enjoyable? Teaching note. Encounter means to meet or experience something, often unexpectedly. An island journal is a record of your English island practice. Common island building mistakes. Making islands too long. Start with 10 minutes. It's better to have consistent short islands than occasional long ones. Choosing boring content. Islands should be interesting and personally relevant. Don't force yourself to do activities you don't enjoy. Being too critical. Don't judge your English during islands. The goal is fluency, not perfection. Inconsistent timing. Try to have islands at the same time each day to build the habit. The compound effect of English islands. The more islands you build, the less you will translate. English will start to feel more natural and automatic. Your brain will begin to expect and enjoy English time. Eventually, the boundaries between islands and your regular day will blur. You'll find yourself naturally thinking in English even outside your designated island times. Key learning points for English islands. English islands are designated periods of English-only time. Immerse yourself means to involve yourself completely. Sustained practice means continuous practice without breaks. Mental stamina is the ability to maintain mental effort over time. Islands should be enjoyable and personally relevant to be effective. Now, let's explore 2 advanced techniques that will accelerate your direct English thinking: creating mental pictures for vocabulary and using self-talk for natural practice. The problem with word-to-word translation. When you learn new English words, do you immediately think of the translation in your native language? This creates an extra step that slows down your thinking. Instead of English word, meaning, you create English word, native language word, meaning. This is like having a translator in your head for every conversation. It works, but it's slow and inefficient. We want to eliminate that translator and connect English directly to meaning. Teaching note: word-to-word translation means connecting each English word to its translation in your native language. Eliminate the translator means removing that extra step so English connects directly to meaning. Using mental pictures for vocabulary. Instead of connecting new English words to their translation, connect them to pictures, images, sounds, smells, or feelings in your mind. This is exactly how children learn their first language. Example: learning the word apple. Translation method: apple equals apple in your language. Mental picture method: close your eyes and imagine a big red apple in your hand. Imagine the taste, the smell, the sound when you bite it, the feeling of the smooth skin. When you hear apple later, your brain runs directly to the picture, not to your native language first. Creating effective mental pictures. For concrete objects: cat. Picture a specific cat you know. Hear its meow, imagine petting its fur. Rain. Visualize raindrops, hear the sound on windows, feel the cool air. Coffee. Smell the aroma, taste the flavor, see steam rising from a cup. For abstract concepts: happiness. Picture yourself smiling. Remember a moment when you felt joy. Anger. Imagine the physical sensation: tight chest, clenched fists. Success. Visualize achieving a goal. Remember how victory feels. For actions: running. Feel your feet hitting the ground, your breath getting faster. Swimming. Imagine the water around you, the rhythm of your strokes. Laughing. Hear the sound, feel your stomach muscles moving. Teaching note: concrete objects are things you can touch and see physically. Abstract concepts are ideas or feelings that aren't physical things. Visualize means to create a picture in your mind. Mental picture vocabulary. Word-to-word translation, connecting each word to its translation. Eliminate the translator, remove the extra translation step. Concrete objects, physical things you can touch. Abstract concepts, ideas or feelings, not physical things. Visualize, create mental pictures. Self-talk, your personal English coach. Self-talk means talking to yourself, and it's one of the most powerful methods for developing direct English thinking. Psychologists recognize self-talk as a crucial part of language development and mental processing. Types of English self-talk. Narrating your actions. Now I am walking to the bus stop. I must remember to buy milk. Let me check the time. I should call my friend later. Processing your thoughts. That was an interesting movie. I wonder what the weather will be like tomorrow. I need to think about this decision carefully. I'm excited about my vacation next month. Encouraging yourself. Well done, I finished my work early. I'm getting better at this English practice. That presentation went really well. I handled that difficult situation nicely. Problem solving. Let me think about this step by step. What would be the best approach here? I need to consider all my options. Maybe I should ask for help with this. Teaching note. Narrating your actions means describing what you're doing. Processing your thoughts means thinking through ideas or experiences. Step by step means one stage at a time in logical order. Benefits of English self-talk. You have your own English partner. You don't need to find conversation partners or wait for English classes. You can practice anytime, anywhere. It's private and safe. You can make mistakes without embarrassment. You can experiment with new words and phrases without judgment. It's personalized. You talk about your own life, interests, and experiences, making the English immediately relevant and memorable. It builds confidence. Regular self-talk makes English feel more natural and automatic. You become comfortable with your own English voice. Practical self-talk techniques. Morning planning self-talk. Today, I need to finish the report for work. I should go to the gym after lunch. I'm looking forward to dinner with my friends tonight. I hope the weather stays nice for the weekend. Commute commentary. The traffic is heavier than usual today. That's an interesting advertisement on the bus. I should listen to an English podcast while I walk. I have about 20 minutes before my meeting. Evening reflection self-talk. Today went better than I expected. I learned something new in that conversation. Tomorrow, I want to focus on finishing that project. I'm grateful for the help my colleague gave me. Teaching note. Commute commentary means talking about your journey to work. Evening reflection means thinking about your day in the evening. Advanced self-talk strategies. Emotional processing. I feel frustrated about that meeting, but I understand their concerns. I'm nervous about the presentation, but I'm well prepared. I'm disappointed about the canceled plans, but maybe it's for the best. Decision making. If I take this job, I'll have more money but less time with family. Should I buy this now or wait for a sale? I think calling is better than sending an email for this situation. Creative thinking. What if I approached this problem differently? I wonder what would happen if I learned photography. Maybe I should plan a trip to somewhere I've never been. Combining mental pictures and self-talk. For new vocabulary. When you encounter a new word, create a mental picture and then use self-talk to practice it. New word. Frustrated. Mental picture. Remember a time you felt frustrated. Visualize the situation. Self-talk. I felt frustrated when the computer crashed and I lost my work. For daily experiences. As experiences happen, create mental pictures and talk through them. Experience. Beautiful sunset. Mental picture. the colors, the peaceful feeling. Self-talk. This sunset is absolutely gorgeous. The sky looks like it's on fire. Teaching note. Encounter means to meet or experience something. The sky looks like it's on fire is a metaphor describing the red and orange colors of sunset. Making it natural and automatic. Start small. Begin with just a few minutes of self-talk per day. Use natural moments. Practice during activities like walking, cooking, or getting dressed. Don't force complexity. Simple sentences are perfect. Focus on fluency, not advanced grammar. Be patient. It feels strange at first, but becomes natural with practice. Stay positive. Use self-talk to encourage yourself, not criticize your English. Weekly self-talk challenge. Monday, narrate your morning routine. Tuesday, process one decision you need to make. Wednesday, encourage yourself about something you accomplished. Thursday, describe your feelings about the day. Friday, plan something fun for the weekend. Saturday, comment on what you observe around you. Sunday, reflect on the week and plan for next week. Key learning points for mental pictures and self-talk. Word-to-word translation creates an extra, unnecessary step. Visualize means to create pictures in your mind. Abstract concepts are ideas or feelings, not physical objects. Self-talk is talking to yourself and is a powerful learning tool. Mental pictures connect English directly to meaning, bypassing translation. What an incredible journey we've taken through the world of direct English thinking. You now understand why translation holds you back and have 4 powerful strategies to break free from it forever. Your complete weekly plan for direct English thinking. Monday, foundation building. Morning, create a 10-minute English breakfast island. Throughout the day, use micro moments for basic actions. I am walking. I am eating. Evening, practice 5 minutes of self-talk about your day. Tuesday, expanding practice. Morning, continue your English island, add feelings. I feel excited about today. During the day, add micro moments for observations. It's sunny. The coffee is hot. Evening, use mental pictures for 3 new words you encountered. Wednesday, integration day. Morning, 15-minute English island with planning. Today I will. After work, I want to. Throughout the day, combine micro moments with self-talk. Evening, reflect on your progress in English. Thursday, advanced practice. Morning, English island with problem solving in English. During the day, use self-talk for decision-making. Evening, create mental pictures for abstract concepts you use today. Friday, fluency focus. Morning, longer English island combining all techniques. Throughout the day, natural micro moments without forcing them. Evening, celebrate your week's progress with encouraging self-talk. Weekend, natural integration. Saturday, use English naturally during enjoyable activities. Sunday, plan next week's English goals using direct thinking. The 4 principles to remember. 1. Small and frequent beats long and rare. Micro moments throughout the day are more powerful than long study sessions. 2. Connect to real life. Use English for your actual experiences, feelings, and thoughts, not just textbook exercises. 3. Pictures beat words. Connect new vocabulary to mental images, not translations. 4. Practice is private. Self-talk gives you unlimited, safe practice opportunities. Signs of progress to watch for. In the first week, you'll notice translation happening less automatically. By the second week, simple English thoughts will come naturally. By the fourth week, you'll catch yourself thinking in English without trying. Remember, the magic is not in one big moment. The magic is in many small daily moments. Every micro moment, every English island, every self-talk session builds new roads in your brain. Your challenge this week: choose just one technique from today's lesson and use it every day for 7 days. Come back and tell me in the comments which technique you tried and how it felt. Thank you for joining me on this journey toward direct English thinking. If this lesson helped you understand how to break free from translation, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who needs these strategies. Until next time, remember, your brain is incredibly powerful and adaptable. Trust the process, be patient with yourself, and celebrate every small step toward thinking directly in English. Keep practicing, keep growing, and keep improving your English fluency with us. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Artificial Fluency. I'm your host, and before we dive into today's powerful lesson, I want you to think about something. How much time did you spend yesterday making small decisions? What to wear, what to eat for lunch, which route to take to work, whether to respond to that text message right away or later? Here's what might surprise you. Research shows that the average person makes about 35,000 decisions every single day. And here's the problem. Many of us get stuck on even the smallest choices, going round and round in circles, overthinking everything until we're exhausted and overwhelmed. Today, we're going to change that forever. Over the next 60 minutes, we'll explore proven strategies to make decisions faster, smarter, and with more confidence. You'll learn essential English vocabulary for discussing choices, problems, and solutions, while discovering practical techniques that successful people use to cut through confusion and take purposeful action. So get comfortable, maybe grab a notebook, because today we're mastering both decision-making skills and the English to talk about them confidently. Teaching note: going round and round in circles is a common expression meaning to think about something repeatedly without making progress. Cut through confusion means to find clarity despite complicated or unclear information. Today's comprehensive lesson is organized into 7 powerful strategies, each building your English skills while teaching you life-changing decision-making techniques. First, we'll examine the problem of overthinking, why our brains get stuck, and the cost of indecision. Second, we'll learn Strategy 1, protecting your decision energy, how to save your mental power for what matters most. Third, we'll explore Strategy 2, labeling decision types, Jeff Bezos's framework for knowing which decisions deserve deep thought. Fourth, we'll discover Strategy 3, feel first, then think, why emotions are essential for good decisions. Fifth, we'll practice Strategy 4, the 10-10-10 rule, gaining perspective on choices through time. Sixth, we'll master Strategy 5, regret simulation, using fear of regret as a tool, not a trap. And finally, we'll implement Strategy 6, identity-based decisions, making choices that align with who you want to become. Each section includes practical vocabulary, real-world examples, and techniques you can use immediately. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us. Let's start by understanding why decision-making has become so difficult in our modern world and learn the English vocabulary to describe these challenges. The overthinking epidemic. Many people today overthink, procrastinate, and keep going round and round in circles with the same thoughts. We're overwhelmed by the amount of information and the amount of choice available to us. In this environment, our attention is being farmed by countless distractions. Teaching note: procrastinate means to delay or postpone doing something, especially something important. Overwhelmed means feeling like you can't handle everything that's happening. Attention is being farmed is a modern expression, meaning companies are deliberately trying to capture and profit from your attention. Overthinking vocabulary. Overthink, procrastinate, and keep going round and round in circles. Overwhelmed by the amount of information. Overwhelmed by the amount of choice. Attention is being farmed. It's not clarity, it's clutter. Here's a key insight. You don't have a clarity problem, you have a clutter problem. Before making decisions, we ruminate, we spiral, we crowdsource, we overthink. Instead of thinking clearly, our minds become filled with too much information and too many opinions. Teaching note: ruminate originally means what cows do when they chew food repeatedly, but for humans, it means to think about something over and over again, usually in an unhelpful way. Spiral here means your thinking gets worse and more confused. Crowdsource means asking many people for their opinions. The science of decision fatigue. Stanford research reveals that excessive deliberation reduces decision quality by up to 25% due to something known as decision fatigue. This mental and emotional strain is backed by ego depletion theory, which shows we have a limited pool of mental energy. When this energy is depleted, we respond in two ways: avoidance, doing nothing at all, or impulse, choosing the easiest or most familiar option. Decision fatigue. Vocabulary. Excessive deliberation reduces decision quality. Decision fatigue. Ego depletion theory. Limited pool of mental energy. Avoidance, doing nothing. Impulse, choosing the easiest option. The cost of small decisions. This exhaustion from small decisions actively reduces your ability to think clearly, leading to loss of willpower and self-control. This explains why successful people like Steve Jobs, Barack Obama, and Mark Zuckerberg minimize daily micro-decisions to preserve cognitive energy for bigger choices. As one expert puts it, every should I adds up. Every let me think one more time drains fuel. The reality is that excessive deliberation weakens judgment And the best decisions are often made with a clear, rested mind. Real-life examples of decision fatigue. Morning decisions. What to wear to work. What to have for breakfast. Which route to take to the office. Whether to check email before leaving. By the time you arrive at work, you've already made dozens of small decisions, and your mental energy for important work decisions is reduced. Evening decisions. What to watch on Netflix? What to order for dinner? Whether to exercise or rest? When to go to bed? These seem minor, but they accumulate throughout the day. Teaching note. Micro decisions are very small, everyday choices. Drains fuel is a metaphor comparing mental energy to gasoline in a car. Both can be used up. Accumulate means to build up or increase over time. Why our brains struggle with modern choices. Our brains evolved to handle simple survival decisions. Is this food safe? Is this person dangerous? But now we face thousands of complex choices daily. Which smartphone should I buy? Should I change careers? Which Netflix show should I watch? The modern world presents us with what psychologists call choice overload. When we have too many options, we often take longer to decide, feel less satisfied with our choice, experience more regret later, and sometimes avoid choosing altogether. Choice overload examples: grocery stores with 40-plus breakfast cereals, streaming platforms with thousands of movies, dating apps with endless potential matches, career paths that didn't exist 20 years ago. The vocabulary of modern decision challenges: choice overload, avoid choosing altogether, feel less satisfied with our choice, experience more regret later. Cultural differences in decision-making. Different cultures approach decisions differently, and it's useful to understand these patterns. Individual versus collective decision-making. Western cultures often emphasize personal choice and individual responsibility. Eastern cultures may prioritize family input and community consensus. Neither approach is right or wrong, they reflect different values. Time orientation. Some cultures make quick decisions and adjust later. Others prefer lengthy deliberation before committing. Understanding these differences helps in international business and relationships. Teaching note. Personal choice emphasizes individual freedom to decide. Community consensus means group agreement. Lengthy deliberation means taking a long time to think about and discuss something. The emotional cost of indecision. Beyond the practical problems, chronic indecision creates emotional suffering, anxiety and stress. Analysis paralysis creates constant worry. Fear of making the wrong choice prevents action. Perfectionist tendencies make every decision feel crucial. Missed opportunities. While you're deciding, opportunities pass by. The perfect time rarely exists. Waiting for certainty often means waiting forever. relationship strain. Indecisive behavior can frustrate partners, friends, and colleagues. Flip-flopping on decisions damages trust. Others may lose confidence in your judgment. Teaching note: analysis paralysis means being unable to make a decision because you're thinking too much about it. Flip-flopping means changing your mind repeatedly, like a fish flipping back and forth. Perfectionist tendencies means the habit of wanting everything to be perfect. Decision-making vocabulary summary: analysis paralysis, fear of making the wrong choice, perfectionist tendencies, the perfect time rarely exists, waiting for certainty, flip-flopping on decisions. Key learning points for overthinking: procrastinate means to delay important tasks. Ruminate means to think about something repeatedly in an unhelpful way. Crowdsource means to ask many people for opinions. Micro decisions are small, everyday choices. Analysis paralysis means being unable to decide due to overthinking. Now that we understand the problem, let's learn the first strategy for making better decisions: protecting your mental energy for what truly matters. The energy management approach. Think of your decision-making ability like a smartphone battery. It starts full in the morning, but drains throughout the day. The key is to prioritize big decisions early in the day when your cognitive energy is highest. Teaching note: this comparison between mental energy and a smartphone battery is called an analogy. We use analogies to explain complex ideas by comparing them to something familiar and easier to understand. 4 techniques for energy protection. 1. Prioritize big decisions early in the day. Make significant decisions early in the day when your mind is fresh and your willpower is strongest. This is why many successful people review important proposals first thing in the morning. Schedule crucial meetings before lunch. Tackle complex problems before dealing with emails. Early decision vocabulary. Make significant decisions early in the day. When your mind is fresh, your willpower is strongest. First thing in the morning, before dealing with emails. 2. Batch small decisions. Group routine choices and decide them in advance. Instead of deciding what to wear each morning, plan your outfits the night before or even a week in advance. Examples of decision batching. Meals. Plan all meals for the week on Sunday. Clothing. Organize outfits for the entire work week. Routes. Always take the same route to work unless there's a specific reason to change. Schedules. Block similar activities together. All phone calls in one block, all emails in another. 3. Use pre-made criteria. Establish simple rules for recurring decisions. If X, then I always do Y. This eliminates the need to think through the same decision repeatedly. Examples of pre-made criteria. Work. If a meeting can be handled by email, I decline. Health. If I have a choice between stairs and elevator, I take stairs. Social. If I'm invited to events on Sunday evening, I politely decline to protect my preparation time for Monday. Financial. If something costs more than $100, I wait 24 hours before buying. Teaching note. Pre-made criteria are rules you create in advance to help make decisions automatically. Recurring decisions are choices that come up repeatedly in your life. Pre-made criteria vocabulary. Establish simple rules for recurring decisions. If X, then I always do Y. This eliminates the need to think through the same decision. I politely decline. Wait 24 hours before buying. 4. Filter for significance. The most powerful technique is learning to stop overthinking things that won't matter in 5 years. This includes what not to overthink. Insignificant replies, long emails about minor issues. External approval, what strangers think about your choices. Comparisons, how your path differs from others. Past events, decisions you've already made and can't change. What does deserve your energy? Relationships, who you spend your time with. Health, habits that affect your long-term well-being. Career, opportunities that could change your trajectory. Values, choices that reflect who you want to be. Teaching note. Filter for significance means to separate important things from unimportant things. Won't matter in 5 years is a useful test for determining what's truly important. Trajectory means the path or direction of your life or career. The 5-year test questions. Will this decision affect my life in 5 years? Will I even remember this choice next month? Am I spending valuable mental energy on something trivial? Is this decision aligned with my long-term goals? Significance filtering vocabulary. Stop overthinking things that won't matter in 5 years. Insignificant replies. External approval. What strangers think about your choices. Affect your long-term trajectory. Aligned with my long-term goals. Spending valuable mental energy on something trivial. Practical implementation this week. Let's make this concrete with specific actions you can take. Monday morning energy audit. List all the decisions you made yesterday. Identify which ones drained your energy unnecessarily. Choose 3 small decisions to automate or batch. Create your if-then rules. Write down 5 if-then statements for your most common recurring decisions. For example, if someone asks me to a social event on a weeknight, I ask for 24 hours to consider. If I'm choosing between 2 similar restaurants, I pick the closer one. If I can't decide between two good options, I choose the one that scares me slightly more. Decision protection strategies. Environmental design. Lay out clothes the night before. Prepare healthy snacks in advance. Keep your workspace organized to avoid small decisions about where things are. Technology helpers. Use phone settings to limit decision making. Automatic do not disturb, scheduled messages. Create templates for common email responses. Use meal planning apps to eliminate daily food decisions. Social boundaries. Learn to say, "Let me check my calendar and get back to you," instead of immediately saying yes or no. Ask for decisions in writing when possible to avoid pressure. Practice saying, "That's not something I need to decide right now." Teaching note. Environmental design means organizing your physical space to make good decisions easier. Social boundaries are limits you set in relationships to protect your time and energy. Common mistakes to avoid. Overbatching. Don't try to plan every detail of your life. Some spontaneity is healthy and energizing. Rigid rules. Your if-then statements should be guidelines, not absolute laws. Allow for exceptions when they make sense. Perfectionist planning. Don't spend more energy planning your decision-making system than you would spend on the actual decisions. Key learning points for energy protection. In advance means before something is needed. Batch, as a verb, means to group similar things together. Pre-made criteria are rules you create beforehand. Trajectory means the path or direction of your life. And energy audit means examining how you spend mental energy. Not all decisions deserve the same amount of mental energy. Let's learn Jeff Bezos's framework for categorizing decisions and the English vocabulary to discuss different types of choices. The Bezos framework. Type 1 versus Type 2 decisions. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos revolutionized decision-making by recognizing that not all decisions deserve the same energy. He categorizes decisions into two types. Type 1 decisions, irreversible and high stakes. These are think deeply decisions. They're critical choices that are difficult or impossible to reverse. Examples include choosing who to marry, deciding to build Amazon Web Services, selecting a university for your degree, choosing to have children, making major career changes. Type 2 decisions, reversible and low stakes. These are decide fast decisions. Most decisions fall into this category. Examples include applying for a new job. You can quit if it doesn't work out. Starting a side business. You can close it if needed. Choosing early Amazon fulfillment center locations. They could be changed. Deciding which restaurant to try. Picking a new hobby to explore. Teaching note. High stakes means the consequences are very important or serious. Low stakes means the consequences are not very serious. Irreversible means you cannot undo or change the decision. Reversible means you can change your mind later. Decision type vocabulary. Not all decisions deserve the same amount of mental energy. Irreversible and high stakes, think deeply. Reversible and low stakes, decide fast. Difficult or impossible to reverse. Most decisions fall into this category. The paralysis trap. The biggest mistake people make is treating every decision in life like life or death, which leads to paralysis. Most situations have more than two options, and most choices can be adjusted if they don't work out perfectly. Breaking free from all or nothing thinking. Instead of seeing only two options, train yourself to find alternatives. Example, career dissatisfaction. Limited thinking. I either stay in this job forever or quit and risk everything. Expanded thinking. I could transfer departments, negotiate remote work, reduce hours, look for similar roles elsewhere, develop new skills while staying, or gradually transition to something new. Example, relationship problems. Limited thinking. We either stay together and be miserable or break up. Expanded thinking. We could try counseling, take a break, change our living situation, work on specific issues, seek individual therapy, or gradually improve our communication. Teaching note. All or nothing thinking is a psychological term for seeing only extreme options and missing middle ground possibilities. Life or death is an exaggeration, meaning extremely serious, when most decisions aren't actually that crucial. The recovery question. Here's Bezos's practical test. Ask yourself, if I choose wrong, can I recover? If yes, then act. If no, then investigate further. This simple question helps you categorize decisions quickly. Can recover equals act fast. Trying a new restaurant, taking an online course, joining a social club, changing your hairstyle, starting a new exercise routine. Cannot easily recover, think deeply. Getting married, having children, buying a house, choosing a medical treatment, moving to another country permanently. Teaching note. Recover in this context means to bounce back or return to your previous situation. Investigate further means to research and think more deeply about the decision. The 70% information rule. Bezos recommends most decisions should probably be made with around 70% of the information you wish you had. Waiting for 90% leads to slowness and inaction. Perfection is a trap, and speed creates momentum. Why 70% works? You have enough information to make a reasonable choice. You avoid analysis paralysis. You can adjust based on new information later, and you maintain momentum and forward progress. When to wait for more information? Type 1 decisions with permanent consequences, legal or medical decisions requiring expertise, financial commitments beyond your resources, situations involving other people's safety. Teaching note. Momentum means the force that keeps something moving forward. In decision-making, it means the energy and progress that comes from taking action. Analysis paralysis means being unable to decide because you're overthinking. Information and action vocabulary. 70% of the information you wish you had. Waiting for 90% leads to slowness and inaction. Perfection is a trap, and speed creates momentum. Maintain momentum and forward progress. Avoid analysis paralysis. Practical application questions. For every decision you face, ask these 3 questions. If I get it wrong, is the damage small or permanent? Small damage equals type 2, decide quickly. Permanent damage equals type 1, think carefully. Can I test this on a small scale before going all in? Yes. Start with a small experiment. No. Gather more information first. Will delaying this decision cost me opportunities? Yes. Set a deadline and decide. No. Take reasonable time to consider. Testing decisions on a small scale. Many apparent type 1 decisions can be converted to type 2 by testing first. Career change example. Instead of immediately quitting your job to start a business, you could start the business as a weekend project. Take on freelance work in your target field. Volunteer in the industry to learn more. Shadow someone doing the work you want to do. Take a sabbatical to test your new direction. Relationship example. Instead of immediately moving in together, you could spend more nights at each other's places. Take a longer vacation together. Try sharing some household responsibilities. Have deeper conversations about future goals. Meet each other's extended families. Teaching note. Going all in means committing completely to something without holding back. Shadow someone means to follow them around and observe their work. Sabbatical is a break from work, often for learning or personal projects. The enemy of speed. Bezos notes, the enemy of speed is not caution, it's confusion. Clear thinking enables fast action. Confused thinking leads to endless deliberation. Sources of confusion. Too many opinions, asking everyone for advice without filtering. Information overload, researching beyond the point of usefulness. Perfectionist standards, waiting for the perfect solution. Fear-based thinking, focusing only on what could go wrong. Comparison paralysis, trying to find the single best option among many good ones. Creating clarity. Define your priorities. What matters most in this decision? Set constraints. What are your non-negotiables? Limit inputs. Choose 2 to 3 trusted advisors rather than asking everyone. Time box research. Give yourself a deadline for gathering information. Focus on good enough. Look for the best option you can find, not the theoretical perfect one. Teaching note. The enemy of speed is not caution, it's confusion. Information overload. Perfectionist standards. Comparison paralysis. Define your priorities. Set constraints and non-negotiables. Time box research. Focus on good enough. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us. Key learning points for decision types. High stakes means serious consequences. Low stakes means minor consequences. All or nothing thinking means seeing only extreme options. Momentum means the force that keeps things moving forward. Going all in means committing completely without holding back. And non-negotiables are things you will not compromise on. This might surprise you, but neuroscience shows that good decisions require both emotions and logic. Let's explore why feelings are essential for smart choices and learn the vocabulary to discuss emotions in decision-making. The neuroscience of decision-making. Renowned neuroscientist Antonio Damasio discovered something revolutionary. We are not thinking machines that feel. We are feeling machines that think. His research proved that we make our decisions emotionally, then justify them logically. Teaching note. Antonio Damasio wrote a famous book called Descartes' Error about this discovery. René Descartes was a philosopher who believed thinking was separate from feeling, but Damasio proved this is wrong. Justify means to provide reasons or explanations for something. The famous patient studies. Damasio studied patients with damage to the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, the brain area connecting emotional processing with rational thinking. These patients could reason logically perfectly well, but they couldn't make basic decisions because they were emotionally numb. For example, they could spend hours deciding whether to use a blue pen or black pen, analyzing every possible consequence, but never feeling that either choice mattered enough to simply pick one. The conclusion? Without emotion, logic stalls. Teaching note. Emotionally numb means unable to feel emotions normally. Logic stalls means logical thinking stops working effectively, like when a car engine stalls and stops running. The brain area mentioned is complex, but the important point is that emotions and thinking are connected. Emotion and logic vocabulary. We are feeling machines that think. We make decisions emotionally, then justify them logically. Couldn't make basic decisions. Emotionally numb. Without emotion, logic stalls. Your emotional compass. Think of emotions as your internal navigation system. You feel something first, desire, fear, excitement, guilt. Then your brain builds a logical story to support or justify that feeling. The logic is the cover, the emotion is the compass. This doesn't mean emotions are always right. Sometimes they're influenced by past wounds, current stress, or external pressure, but they provide crucial information that pure logic cannot. Examples of emotional intelligence in decisions. Job opportunity. Pure logic. This job pays 20% more and has better benefits. Emotion included. This job pays more, but I feel anxious about the company culture and excited about staying with my current team. Better decision. Consider both the logical benefits and the emotional signals. Relationship choice. Pure logic. This person checks all the boxes on paper. Emotion included. This person seems perfect logically, but I don't feel energized or authentic around them. Better decision. Recognize that compatibility involves both practical factors and emotional connection. Teaching note. internal navigation system compares emotions to GPS or a compass that helps you find direction. The logic is the cover, the emotion is the compass means logic often hides or disguises the real emotional reason for our choice. The three-step emotion check-in. Before making any significant decision, practice this process. Step 1. Name the dominant emotion. Ask yourself, what am I feeling about this choice? Is it excitement, fear, shame, pressure, envy? Common decision emotions include excitement. This opportunity energizes me. Fear. I'm worried about the risks involved. Shame. I feel like I should want this, but I don't. Pressure. Others expect me to choose this. Envy. I want this because someone else has it. Guilt. I feel bad about considering this option. Step 2. Assess trustworthiness. Ask, is this emotion trustworthy or is it distorted by past wounds? Trustworthy emotions often feel connected to your values, consistent over time, clear rather than confused, energizing rather than draining. Distorted emotions might be based on old fears that no longer apply, influenced by what others think you should feel, reactions to past hurts rather than present reality, driven by comparison or competition. Teaching note. Dominant emotion means the strongest feeling you have about something. Distorted by past wounds means your past negative experiences are affecting how you feel about current situations in unhelpful ways. Step 3. Engage logic. Make decisions from wholeness, not habit. Use your emotional intelligence to inform logical analysis, not replace it. Questions for integrating emotion and logic include, what is my emotion telling me about this situation? What would I decide if I felt completely neutral? How can I honor both my feelings and my practical needs? What would I advise a friend who had both these emotions and these facts? Emotion check-in vocabulary. Name the dominant emotion. Is it excitement, fear, shame, pressure, envy? Is this emotion trustworthy or distorted by past wounds? Make decisions from wholeness, not habit. Honor both my feelings and my practical needs. Trusting your initial reaction. Often, our initial gut response contains important wisdom. Don't ignore your intuition. Stop mistrusting your first reaction because it's often your deepest wisdom. However, this doesn't mean always following your first impulse. Instead, pay attention to initial reactions as valuable data. When first reactions are usually helpful. Meeting new people. You often sense their character quickly. Evaluating job opportunities. Your immediate response to the work environment. Choosing creative projects. What energizes versus drains you? Assessing living situations. How a space feels to you. when to question first reactions. When you're tired, hungry, or stressed. When the reaction seems based on prejudice or past hurt. When the stakes are very high and emotion might cloud judgment. When you're being pressured to decide quickly. Teaching note. Gut response and intuition both refer to immediate feelings or knowledge that seem to come without conscious reasoning. Deepest wisdom suggests that these feelings often contain important truth about what's right for you.